Welcome to the Backlash at backlash.com. My name is Rod Van Mecklin, and in this video I want to comment on some recent talk about money. No, I don't want your money. I have nothing to sell. This is about you. But first, a little retrospective. Working with a motley crew comprised of liberals and conservatives, leftists and rightists, 22 years ago I began what for a time became the best-known publication in the men's rights movement, The Backlash. We weren't the first. Anti-feminists and MRAs had been around almost as long as second-wave feminists, but because of all the infighting, they accomplished little. What we did that was different was to promote everybody else. We didn't try to be the top dog. Just as the mainstream media has been doing to AVFM and now Roosh, they did that to me too, and drove me out of print, but not out of publication, as the web was new and offered a very low-cost way to continue the work. Fast forward, in 2002 I went into politics, unfortunately, and had to reduce that work, but I still continued with periodic updates until I had to stop for a while, and I think that was around 2009. This is the vacuum in which websites like AVFM arose, and that was a good thing. What is happening to AVFM, however, is what happened to the MRM groups that preceded the backlash, infighting over who gets to be the top dog. One difference today is the hard left turn into reaching for big government solutions that will cause more problems than they solve. Well, that's too bad, but MGTOW was already beginning to take root and spread as an individualist response to the progressive paradigm that has infected both the left and the right. And MGTOW is a good thing. In 2011, I resumed writing and publishing, and that included encouraging men of the manosphere to strive to get rich. Now I'm beginning to see other MGTOW talking about ways to get rich, and that's also a very good thing. I don't recall if it was on Sandman's unscripted dialogue, which I enjoyed, by the way, or one of Turd Flinging Monkey's, but somebody mentioned Napoleon Hill and asked if Hill's original book had been censored. Yes, it was. But a few years back it was made available. The title is The Law of Success in 16 Lessons. You can buy it on Amazon. I've got a copy and consider it good as gold. Now, like Bern Chapin at Chapin's Inferno, a wandering cauldron of politically incorrect commentary, I invest in both stocks and options, and I want to encourage anybody who's interested in that to follow professionals. This week I listened to a MGTOW video in which they read from the censored version of Napoleon Hill's book, which was published under the title of Think and Grow Rich, and that's an okay book. And then they also gave advice on real estate investing. You can get rich in real estate. A buddy of mine has made a lot of money there. But before you go there, I urge you to seek out professional advice and get educated. One real estate pro I find interesting is Fabian Calvo. He has a YouTube channel, and it's linked in the low bar. Before I continue, let me note here that these are not paid endorsements. I'm just sharing this information with you the same way I would share it with personal friends, and that I do share with personal friends. Continuing, one thing I urge you to keep in mind is that right now, this being August 22nd, 2015, I believe that we are in a real estate bubble that is being driven by corporations that are buying up distressed properties and turning them into rentals. When this bubble pops, there will be lots of opportunities. But right now, I would personally be very cautious about investing in real estate. Napoleon Hill's book, The Law of Success in 16 Lessons, is a dense read that takes a lot of attention. And if you're like me and don't have a lot of time for that, then you might prefer to listen to something a little lighter and easier to follow. Something I found valuable is Kevin Trudeau's Your Wish is Your Command 14 CD set. Yes, I know. Kevin was sent to prison for defying the FDA, and I respect him for that. I disrespect the FDA. But while I would agree with anybody who complains that he is a salesman who is given to sometimes wild exaggerations, that some of the things he says are cringe-worthy. His narrative about atoms sounds like cutting-edge science only if you're living in ancient Greece, for example. And that at least some of this CD set is fiction. Well, the information it conveys is valuable nonetheless, in my opinion. It's easy to listen to, and you can buy it cheap on Amazon. So that's something to consider. 4 years ago, I redesigned my Backlash website to focus on information that I believed would be valuable to the manosphere. I divided these into 4 categories: anti-feminism, money, politics, and health. If you want to start educating yourself about wealth building, one place to start is with the links I provide to numerous articles, and generally I average more than 60 links per week on that subject alone. Whatever you do, I would discourage you from just jumping in without at least some professional help. Having been a stockbroker, in my opinion, most stockbrokers are the wrong people to talk to. Whether they call themselves stockbrokers or financial consultants or financial advisors or whatever, most of them are just salesmen. That's all they are. Aaron Clarey went into banking and was disillusioned by what he found there. I went into stocks and was also disillusioned, which turned out to be very too bad for me, because I was so disillusioned that instead of using my insights to make truckloads of money, I turned my back on the whole thing for the better part of 30 years and missed several major market moves. I'm kicking myself over that, but it's something I'm rectifying now. But that's for me. So who should you listen to? As I mentioned in previous videos, I like Gary Savage, Greg Mannarino, and Martin Armstrong, all linked in the low bar. But I also pay attention to Rick Rule, Bob Moriarty, and a few others. Rick is a partner with Eric Sprott at Sprott Asset Management, so it's not like he's got a blog. I mean, the guy's a billionaire. But you can find him published on a lot of blogs, and there are many interviews with him on YouTube. Bob Moriarty does have his own blog, and it's linked below. In addition to Gary's blog, which includes both free and subscriber content, and in the interest of full disclosure, I'm a subscriber, you can also find almost daily interviews with him on the Korelin Economics Report, and that's linked below as well. Regardless of what you do, now that other MGTOW are starting to offer information on getting rich, I wanted to caution everybody to educate yourself and to be careful about whose advice you take. We live in turbulent times. Things are going to change very rapidly during the next several years as the rate of change continues to accelerate. And if I had to describe my approach to investing, it would be prudent but aggressive, with emphasis on prudence. That's all for now. Check out the other videos. Subscribe to the channel. For the Backlash at Backlash.com, my name is Rod Van Mechelen.